Aloha everyone, another beautiful day in Hawai'i in Iwalani's Healing Garden. I'm Iwalani, and what is the Healing Garden all about? Well, for those of you that are new to our program, this garden was gifted to me by our family. And the bottom line, at that time, I was struggling with stage 3 cancer for the second time. So can you imagine? I was devastated. I was hungry for healing. I came out in the garden, I would pray and plant and plow and just ask for forgiveness and said, Lord, I'm a selfish person. I need to be healed. I need to be alive and well and happy. Life is beautiful because we make it beautiful. You are in charge of your own legacy and your own life. So let me share with you an amazing young woman. I will call her someone that has been through life, and you have so much to learn from her. Her name is Iwalani, Laboy O'Helen, O'Highland. Oh, she will tell you, O'Helpin. That's her name. Oh my gosh, I really slaughtered that one. She's a beautiful wife, a mother, a singer, an entrepreneur, a board member of Women Struggling with Adversities. And I'm going to tell you the story that she will share. It's amazing. And this lady, she is also a flight attendant for Hawaiian Airlines and a current Mrs. Hawaii United States 2020. So please, I'm going to ask you, beautiful Iwalani, take me up to current and share with Auntie what all the magnificent things you're into now in this
Aloha,
present
Auntie.
time.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be here and to be a part of this wonderful show and just this opportunity that you have given to just encourage and empower other women.
Thank you.
I'm just so blessed to be here and so excited to share. So, as you have mentioned, I am with Hawaiian Airlines. I've been there since 1998, so just going on 22 years.
You don't even look old enough.
And right now, with everything going on with COVID, I haven't been flying. But that in itself has been a blessing. I was honored to be appointed the title of Mrs. Hawaii United States 2020. And that all came about because of the whole COVID virus. The director wasn't available to have the pageant this year.
Yes.
But because I did compete back in 2017 and I came first runner-up, she got together with another director and fellow queens, and they kind of talked over amongst themselves, and they looked at all the candidates. And she called me and she said that they would be honored to give me the title. So I was so blessed.
That is amazing. Well, of course you deserve the title. Yes.
So blessed, Auntie. And I just really feel that it has given me the opportunity to get involved with what I'm passionate about.
So tell me more about that. I know you have a lot of passions. I mean, you're extremely talented. You service the community in so many ways. You're a keynote speaker about abuse. I mean, just tell me more, please.
Yes, so I am on the board of Women Speaking Out, and we do have an annual Speak Love conference, and that's held once a year. We bring in high school girls from around the state, and we do dream boarding, we do makeovers, and I speak there. And I share with the girls my testimony and my life story, just in hopes of encouraging them and to just bring awareness and to just give these young girls an opportunity to see and to be aware of what the red flags can be when you're involved in an abusive relationship.
Well, we're talking about the present, and I'm going to dig. Can you rewind, hopefully back when you were young teenagers? What was your aspirations? What were your goals in life? Because you're drop dead gorgeous. What were you thinking? You have a single mother at the time?
Oh, yes.
Yes,
my mom.
You were a teenager growing up. So tell me about that, please.
So my mama had me when she was 19. And she and my dad had divorced. They got married and divorced shortly after that. So because my mom was still young, you know, she was still kind of finding her way throughout life. I was very blessed to have my auntie and Tutu and my mom as well. They all kind of malama'd me and raised
Hawaiian
me.
Style.
Yes. But I wasn't aware that that childhood that I had left some deep issues, some deep-rooted issues within myself. And I grew up having abandonment and rejection issues. But it wasn't until I became a teenager and I met my son's father, 16 years old. He was 5 years older than me. And of course, my parents didn't want me to have anything to do with it, but I didn't listen. hard head. I thought I knew it all. I wanted to do everything on my own. And that was my first introduction to an abusive relationship.
Will you tell me more? I know it might hurt, you know, but
No, I enjoy sharing.
I need your voice because you're such a strong speaker for the women, the young girls now that are going through this, looking at you, look like you have no problem, you know, you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth, you're a world traveler, you do so much, you're drop dead gorgeous, not knowing all the adversities that you've gone through and struggles. So please share, if you don't mind.
So, like I had mentioned, 16 years old, that was my first introduction to an abusive relationship. I got pregnant 1 month after I graduated high school. I had my son at 19. I had just turned 19 years old. 3 days later, I gave birth. And here I found myself, young teenage mom, you know, just experiencing all of the hormonal changes and just everything that come from having a child.
Yes.
And yet, being in the abusive relationship. So when my son was 3 months old, his father had gotten arrested, and he was incarcerated for about 7 years. And, you know, that was a blessing. That was a blessing right there, because it was like God had just kind of come in and separated. And so my son and I, you know, we kind of grew up together because I was so young when I had him. I had multiple jobs. I was mom, dad, coach, mentor, everything that you can think of. You know, I struggled to work jobs to pay for our rent and to be able to put food on the table and to have, you know, activities that my son could participate in. And that bond is really what helped make our relationship become closer than ever.
Phenomenal because he's a pure gentleman, but it had to be because you had to be mother and father and also instill all these values into him. And what was really nice is that you gave him, or you taught him how he truly should treat a woman, because you were never treated with that love and the class and that admiration where you said you were an abusive, you know, secondary, self-servient, if you will. And with your son is just a perfect gentleman. So it comes from you, you know? I mean, women out there, you have to realize that we are products of our children, examples. And you have like I said, your product, your son, is just a replica of you. You know, sweet, charming, respectful, tall and handsome. What more can you share after going through that time and your son graduated? Then it was time for you to invest in you because you were that perfect mother. I remember you said, Auntie, I got to go to here, I got to go there. I mean, you did everything. I did. And no offense to some of you mothers out there, but because she went through so much, she decided she needed to be the best mom she needed to be because of the fact she didn't have that. She was bounced around from tutu to auntie to mommy because her mother was a young mother. So for those of you that are struggling with all of that, that's perfectly fine. But invest in yourself. And that's what you did. You
so
invested.
Important, Auntie. So that first relationship was my introduction into abuse. And it was 16 years of just various abusive relationships that I was in.
What is abuse to you? Verbal abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse?
Physical, mental, verbal, emotional, controlling, manipulating, all of that is definitely signs of abuse. And when a woman suffers from that, it really breaks down their spirit. And I was a very, very broken person for many, many years. And it had to take my son at 10 years old, I'll never forget this. One day we were riding in the car and he looked at me and he started to cry and he said, Mom, you're not the same anymore. You're always sad, you're always crying, and I miss my mom. And at that moment, it was so pivotal for me, Auntie, because for many years I couldn't get out of it. Even though I knew in my heart and in my mind that it wasn't good and it was destructive, I couldn't leave. But I remember looking at my son that moment and I told myself, if you can't get yourself right for yourself, you're going to do it for your son.
That was a broken moment. That's when you said, that's it,
that turned the light on for me. I'm done.
I'm done.
I told myself that, you know, my son did not deserve to suffer because of my mistakes.
And you know, it's amazing because your son noticed it, and that's what happens in relationships. We don't know that the children watching, and the children know.
They know.
They know.
he never saw the physical abuse, but he saw the
You
side
crying.
effects.
Yes, yes.
Always crying, you know, just, he would see some of the bruises here and there, but he knew that I was broken.
Mm-hmm.
And for a young child, especially boys, they want to protect. And, you know, because it was just he and I, he had a responsibility where he felt like he had to be my protector. And that's something that no child should ever have to live with.
I love that word that you said, your spirit was broken, or he saw that because you weren't the same.
Mm-hmm.
That is true, ladies and gentlemen. When you say the spirit, you have, each and every one of us have that spirit within us that we know immediately. We have that intuition. We are tuned into that.
Yes.
So think about that. And I will be right back. Aloha. Oh, today I want to share with you about this facial cleanser from Formidabless and also the facial toner. Now always remember, I've said this numerous times and I'm going to keep repeating myself, I'm in the garden, I'm in the sun, so I need all the help I can get. We all do, because the skin needs a lot of protection. Iwalani, you have beautiful skin, but look at this packaging, look in the toner, look in the cleanser.
24K, and I am all about skincare.
Oh,
so
yeah.
important for us. Take good care of our skin, especially here in Hawaii. Skincare is
It's important, yes. So again, Formidabless. Don't take my word for it. Try it for yourself. Aloha. Okay, I want to salute all of you. Don't forget to hydrate now. Lots of water, and especially in this pandemic time with the COVID. Educate yourself. Do sanitizers, wear your mask, do water, everything, because we need Hawai'i to be perfectly numbers coming down. So, you know, I want you ladies out there to, you know, take care of yourself. Never stop learning. Listen well to your heart, to your inner spirit. Love yourself and be kind. You have to be kind. We have so many great educators out there and women reaching out to you, so there's no way that you need to be in this abusive situation. So I'm going to continue to talk with Iwalani. Iwalani, why do you think that you went through a second relationship knowing the first one was horrible? Why do we do things like that? But it's so natural, right?
Yeah. Well, definitely, Auntie, I would say because I was in the cycle of abuse.
Yes.
And for many women, once they get involved in an abusive relationship, it starts to break down their self-confidence. They have no self-worth. They don't put a value on themselves. And I didn't realize, but the longer I stayed in these relationships, the more it broke me down. Mm-hmm.
You know, what made you so strong to see all of this right away after the second time? You know?
Well, it was a third.
Oh, was it? Okay. Okay, 3 times you're out. Okay.
3 times is too many times. But I think, so the last relationship was definitely the most destructive. Not only verbally, emotionally, physically. That one really, really broke me down. And as I had mentioned earlier, that was when my son had come to me and said, hey, you know, Mom, you're not the same anymore. Mm-hmm. And it was at that time that I had finally realized that I need to get it together. And I had, you know, friends, family, they would all tell me, why do you put up with it, Ui? You're so beautiful, you deserve better. Mm-hmm. And I would hear it, but my heart wasn't in the place to receive it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I really believe a lot of the girls and guys too that's in this relationship of abusive conditions always, they don't get it right away.
No.
We pray that they do. Hopefully that this filming will help you recognize it right away. And don't badger yourself after 1 or 2 or 3 relationships. Mm-hmm. But like they always say, it's never too late. Yeah? Winners never quit. Quitters never win. So you're a winner out there. You know, pick yourself up and you know that you well deserve a better relationship, a better journey in life. You need to love yourself more. And with all of that, Ui, again, what made you turn, what made it an awakening moment to just say, I need to forge forward? Did you immerse yourself with some kind of program? or surrounded yourself with women, or what was it?
I went through some deep counseling.
Oh, okay.
I had a very good friend that was, she's a Christian-based counselor, and I really owe so much to her because she saw me through my most darkest times. And it was at that point when I decided that I was ready for a change. And that's what happens when you're in these abusive relationships. Everyone can tell you, you're so beautiful, you don't deserve this, but only you can make that decision. And when I had made that decision in my life, I decided that I was going to go through counseling. And I went through a period of about 4 years of healing. And it wasn't easy. It was not easy. But I had to push through the pain. And it was during that time that I realized that it was my childhood issues of abandonment and rejection that carried on into my adult life. And it affected the decisions that I was making with these relationships.
You know, I've known you for such a long time. You love to sing. Again, that was therapeutic. You love to hula.
Yes.
You wear your smile so beautifully. You give it away because it's free. So that's what you should do, don't you think? I mean, find ways of healing yourself from within.
Yes, definitely.
You know, sing it out. And I really believe never hesitate to talk to others or share with others. Don't you think that that's important?
Yes.
When you hold it in, that's what's going to eat you out.
You cannot. Everything needs to be brought to the light. And in order to heal, things need to be brought to the surface. And a lot of times, you know, people, we don't want to share, we're shame, we don't want to talk about it. But it's only at that time when you actually speak about it and you bring it out and you share with others that you become accountable for your decision and your process to heal.
You know, in your world travels, I know with the airlines, or you love to go to fine dining and you're out there in the public, do you recognize abuse right away with people, or even on the airplane, do you see it right away?
It's so funny because I can look at a woman now and I can just feel in my heart, I can tell that when she's broken. But it's only because I've lived through that. You know, I can tell when a woman walks and they put their head down, they don't want to look up, they don't have confidence in themselves.
Self-esteem.
Yeah. I can tell that their spirit is broken because I lived like that.
That is so true. So, you know, ladies out there, remember what Ui is saying. And if you want to change your life, you can. Because it's your life to create, nobody else's. The respect, the honesty, the love for yourself and those that you love. The opportunities are there. Never be stuck. It's so easy for me to say this, and yes, it is, because I went through it in a totally different way. I was never hit or abused, but even sometimes, you know, with coworkers or any kind of situation that you're in, just hearing little things can bring you down. And that's what you have to learn, to just say, well, things happen. I love the F word. The F word is of forgiveness, you know. I mean, people, sometimes they say things and they don't know what they're saying, or they don't understand how they can be hurtful. So you just need to be more aware and say, okay, this is not going to hurt me. I'm better than this. You know, I'm going to just forgive them and move on. And that's what you did too. You did that
That's
a lot.
part of the healing. That's part of the healing. You have to forgive. Because, you know, forgiveness is not really for the other person, it's for yourself. And it sets you free from whatever that bondage or whatever that hurt might be holding you to a situation or to a person. Forgiveness is key. And speaking of that, I, you know, had to make forgiveness with my son because, you know, for many years, he lived with the responsibility of feeling like he had to protect me as his mom. And when I went through the healing journey and I was finally able to become aware of everything that I had been through, and I walked it out, and I looked to him one day and I said, can you please forgive me, son? You know, forgive me for the situations that I put you in, for the situations that I put myself in, because I didn't know any better at that time.
You were young and naive, extremely naive, you know,
Yes.
and you thought that was a way of life.
Yeah.
but now you know better. And I truly believe with my heart and soul, look at you, that she's gone through all of this so she can be all that she is today, a keynote speaker, a person that's reaching out to young girls or even women my age and say, hey, you're still in an abusive situation, get out. You know? There's no reason for you to stay in any abusive situation, no matter what the relationship is, because you deserve better than that. You know, you need to love yourself. And I will be right back. Think about that. Yes. Ooh, I'm going to share with you about this 24 karat eyelift. Okay, she's young, I'm old. But you know, I use this all the time, and it's a 24 karat eye lift. This is perfect for not going under the knife. So I use this all the time because I need to have my eyes lift, my face lift, everything lift. So Formidabless, try it out. It's phenomenal. Thank you very much. Ooh, this is wonderful, you know.
Ooh, can I see? Oh, eye cream is so important.
Yes, yes.
That looks amazing.
Hi, thank you for coming back. You know, I'm going to put Iwalani. I want to ask her some personal questions again because she's so full of life and love and sharing. And you know, with all of this, you have a great message that I'm going to ask you to tap into real deep and share with all the women and men out there, or children, anybody with abuse should know all of this, yeah? Don't hesitate. We have so many 911s. We have family you can talk to. Well, go ahead, share all of that, please.
So basically the message that I share when I do speak with women, and it's something that I call golden redemption. And that goes back to part of my healing journey. And it was when I reached a point in my life that I realized that I was worth more than gold to God. That He was able to take all the ugliness and brokenness from my life and redeem it to bring Him glory.
Yes.
So that was very important for my healing journey. But it was also being able to have a counselor that I could speak to, sharing with family and friends the situation that I was going in, having someone there that I could confide in. And at a certain point, because I was in these relationships for so long, a lot of my good friends and family, they didn't want to hear it already.
Well, like a broken record. You kept calling wolf.
And they kept saying, why do you go back to him? We don't want to hear it already. We told you, you deserve better. And I had one cousin, God bless her, she stood by my side through every late night call that I had, crying when no one else wanted to listen to me. And she was such a big part of my healing journey. So I think for any of you women that are in these relationships, I know how hard it can be. And I know that you feel like you aren't worth anything and you don't deserve anything, but let me tell you, that is such a lie. That is such a lie.
Well, they can reach you.
Yes.
And tell me about the TRO. I'm hearing so many stories about that. These local girls, make TRO and get all scared. Never follow through.
I think the most important thing is when you do get to that point where you want to call 911, a police officer will come to the scene and take a statement, and you have the opportunity to pursue a TRO at that time. But for a lot of abused women, they won't follow through. They won't follow through. And I know because I did that many times myself. You know, the police officer comes, you start lying about what happened, you start backtracking. And I think it's just so important for us women that are looking to get out of these relationships. You have to remain steadfast and you have to be strong.
Yes.
As much pain as it causes, you've got to know that you got to walk it out. And the TROs are there to protect us. Ultimately, in my last relationship, that's what I did, and I stuck it through this time.
Good for you.
And that was the one thing that kept us apart. That was the last time I saw him, when we left the courthouse.
Well, it empowers you.
Yes.
Empowers you, women out there.
Yes.
When you do that, you don't do backtracking, and then the person don't respect you. You become the doormat. And they keep coming back and badgering you and badgering you and bringing your self-esteem down. And you're struggling with all of this, and then you feel ugly within. And trust me, when you feel ugly within, it comes out through here too. But when you're happy, you start glowing. Like you said, the women, you know, they don't want to dress up, they look ugly, they put their head down, you know, but when you're released and you're happy and you're joyful, you put a smile and that's worth $1 million. You know, you have so many great things that I'm so grateful that you came here. I'm going to ask you to come back again.
Thank you for having me.
And I look forward for you to represent our Hawaii in this Mrs. United States.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited. It's in October. Hopefully everything will still go as planned. It'll be in Las Vegas.
Nice.
And I'm just so honored. I'm so honored. I'm humbled to have this title. And I will do the best that I can to represent the women and to just get my message out there. To encourage them, to empower them, to inspire them. I came from Mahalo. You know, I didn't come from much, but it doesn't, your past does not determine your future.
Amen. I like that. I like that. So all of you out there, just know that you are blessed. Just know that you are worth everything that your heart desires. Always remember, opportunities are there. No vision, no goals, right? You have to learn to love yourself. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, you will achieve. But it starts from you. Remember that. It starts from you. You can only be as beautiful as you want to be. And it doesn't mean about being born with good looks. It's about having the beauty within.
Yes.
I've never been a queen, but you know what? I'm a queen of my own garden. The chickens and the cats love me. I have my own audience over here. But you know, again, we are what we create. And create the best journey for all of you out there. Until we meet again, I'm Iwalani in the Iwalani's Healing Garden. Aloha. Ui, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Auntie.
My pleasure.
Aloha.
Aloha, friends. As a reminder, I'm here for you every Sunday at 4 o'clock. Thank you so much, Formidabless, for sponsoring the Healing Garden program. But there's something now I want to share with you, one of my favorite quotes for today. Stop judging events as either positive or negative. Rather, simply experience them. Celebrate them and learn from them. Every event offers you lessons. These little lessons fuel your inner and outer growth. Without them, you would be stuck on a plateau. Think about it. This is by Robin S. Sharma. Life is beautiful, friends. Make the best of it. And more importantly also, for Mangorio's Catering by Annabelle Kabebe. Thank you again. Until then, aloha and a hui ho. Hi, aloha everybody. Please remember in these beautiful times in Hawai'i, I'm going to say beautiful because we are about the attitude and gratitude. I'm just saying it's beautiful because I'm alive at 70 years old. Always remember to wear a mask, okay? Remember social distancing. Always remember to live a healthy life. And remember about the Hawaiian handshake, or knuckles, or whatever it may be. And always remember to sanitize, sanitize, sanitize. Ui, please say a few words.
For all of you out there, thank you so much for joining us, and we're so appreciative, especially during this time with the quarantine, that we're able to just get out and to share a message with you and to just reach out to all of you. So please know, if there are any women out there that are needing someone to speak with, I will leave my email address.
Yes.
And we'll find a way that we can get it out to you. Please know, if you're in a dangerous situation, to call 911. And to just know that there are many outlets available for you, and to just always remember that you are worth anything in this life.
Yes, and we agree, health is wealth. Yeehaw!